Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us once again, and thanks for being out here on a Saturday. Now, we're only here for one reason, right? Because this is a big thing. This is the first time ever that Eurovision has invited our mates from Down Under to join us at the show. So, as you know, please just raise your hands if you have any questions for either Julia or Jessica, and I'll make sure to take all the questions that you have. And afterwards, as you know, we have an opportunity to take some pictures with flash, if you'd like to do that. I think we're ready to introduce Team Australia, everyone. You look surprised. Welcome. Hi. Welcome. You looked surprised. Didn't you know you're going on a stage?
We got excited.
You're so excited. Okay.
We were talking, if we're honest.
Okay.
We were talking.
That's okay. Well, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, sure. Paul, you'd like to say a few words to start with?
Yes, I would. Look, I'm Paul Clark. I'm the head of delegation for SBS with the Australian team. And I just wanted to say a few things about our network and about our performance here this week. So SBS began broadcasting in 1980, and it was set up as a place where multicultural stories would be told and to broaden the racial diversity of Australia. It began broadcasting Eurovision very soon afterwards. And since then, Eurovision and SBS have got more and more excited, particularly about Eurovision. This week in Australia, it's at fever pitch because for the first time, we're going to perform on the Eurovision stage. It gives me great pleasure to introduce you to two wonderful Australians sitting beside me. The first on our far left is our French-born Eurovision host, Miss Julia Zemiro.
Merci, c'est très gentil.
And the second in the middle is a young lady of Timorese and Aboriginal descent. She has performed for President Barack Obama. She has toured with Beyonce, and this week she will perform for you. She has written a song for Eurovision, and we are very excited to have her here. Please welcome Miss Jessica MAUBOY.
Well, welcome, ladies. Jessica, you look excited. Are you?
I am. I'm beyond excited. This is something very, you know, music is everything to me. So this is something that's very powerful. And to be over here in a completely different energy and you know, to be a part of Eurovision, especially. I remember watching it when I was 11 years old with my dad in Perth one night, and it just kind of really sparked, you know, this energy of music and made me want to be a part of it, you know, watching it and sing and be up on a stage like it. So it's such an incredible opportunity, you know, working with SBS and Blink TV and just making this all happen, you know. Thank you guys to the Eurovision team for, you know, having us here and be a part of your show.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Julia, you're not a newcomer on this show, but still, this is a new creation. What do you think about our new...
Look, it's very exciting. Sam Pang and I have been commentating for Australia since 2009. We are very, very fortunate to be up at the back in the commentators' booths watching. We love the show every year. But it just occurred to me the other day at rehearsal that in semi-final 2, at the interval, there will be this incredible anxiety and excitement about thinking, oh my God, we're part of this tonight. And there is a great love for Eurovision in Australia, I think because there are so many Europeans who live there, who used to watch it before they came over here. My mother was pregnant with me when Sandy Shaw won with Puppet on a String, watching it in Aix-en-Provence in 1967. So yeah, I think there's a beautiful link, and everybody loves music. And I just wish people would sing in their own languages more, but that's me.
Oh, take that. Well, Julia, you know, here in Europe, people talk about some countries sticking together when they vote, you know, the Balkan countries, the Scandinavian countries and stuff. So when Australians watch this, are there any countries they like, yeah?
Yes,
love
Greece.
more than others?
Greece wins it a lot.
Greece?
Wins it a lot, especially if Sarkis is involved. Sarkis Rouvas. Turkey, also very, very popular, because we have a huge Greek and Turkish population. Italy, a little bit bit slow off the bat, but then Italy was away for a while. So now that Italy's come back so strong, maybe they'll vote again. But yeah, they're the top three that often get votes.
Yeah. Now, Jessica, we can't vote for you.
Yes.
Are you excited about that, or would you like to be a part of this
pressure's
competition?
off. You know, it's very overwhelming. But the fact that I'm not a finalist, and we're treated as a guest within the show. And I think having written the song specifically for Eurovision, I got to write the song, and it's a very empowering song. It's about my country. So yeah, giving a bit of my culture, to your country and to many other countries around the world. So it's very, very special to be able to, for everyone to be hearing this song for the very first time on the night.
Because people have been asking us, what song are you going to play? And it was a secret, but I guess you just revealed it then. And that you just wrote a song especially for this occasion. What can you tell us about your act on stage?
Not too much.
Not too much. You can't give it away too much. But yeah, it's about
connection.
It is, yeah.
That's quite loose. Peace, love and understanding.
Peace, love, that's a great one.
Isn't it?
Peace, love and understanding. Very universal.
Yes, but also too, we miss that. Unless you were in a complete media blackout, which you can do, you could watch the songs for the first time ever if you didn't listen to anything. But it's a nice harking back to the old days of Eurovision where you'll sit down and for the first time hear this song and be surprised and delighted rather than having heard it for 6 months on radio.
Thank you.
I think so, anyway.
As Paul told us earlier, you've been performing all over the world, but what's special about this performance on the Eurovision stage?
Yeah, that's a good question. I guess, having watched it since I was really, really young and having that dream of being able to perform on that stage.
But is it any different to perform?
Yeah, I think spiritually, that connection where everyone just comes together, brings everyone together, all cultures. Yeah, I think that's really
And there's
special.
a lot of people watching too. 180 million.
Yeah.
That's all. Did I tell you that? 180 million? Yeah.
Just 180
Right. Bigger than the Super Bowl. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's have some questions from the room. A gentleman down there, please. Striped shirt.
Yeah.
Hi, Luke Fisher from JuniorEurovision.tv. My question is for Paul, actually. Firstly, I just wanted to know, where does Eurovision kind of sit in SBS's viewing figures compared to other shows you've got? And secondly, for the first time last year, you showed Junior Eurovision almost live. I wondered how that went down, and given your huge Maltese population in Australia, if you're going to be doing the same in November for the Malta contest.
Sure. So firstly, the viewing figures have really gone well for the last few years. Last year, 3 million people watched over the weekend. So there's 22 million people in Australia, and 3 million for a public broadcaster is a really good figure. But we broadcast differently than you. So we play Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, prime time. And that's one reason that we wanted to wait until we released the song, so that it would be, we agreed with the Danish producers of Eurovision this year, DR, that when the song was released, it would be like a kind of a coming of age. It would be a celebration in that old style of Eurovision. Last year, we made a little television piece for SVT called Why Australians Loved Eurovision, and it featured Julia dancing on the beach with an Indigenous dance group called Descend Dance, and they were dancing to Waterloo. And at that point, SBS Eurovision was the #1 Twitter handle in the world. Not for very long, but for a little while, and that was really exciting. With Junior Eurovision, we broadcast it the night of the final. It was very exciting, and it was just great to get another element of the brand moving. And we got great response. It was a very good show. I thought Junior Eurovision this year was terrific. Is that all you need? Yes, we are. We'll show it again this year in November. Slight delay. So we get the show at 5 o'clock in the morning, and we turn it around, and it's on that night.
Cool. So what I was getting at was not delaying it for a couple of months.
No.
Next night.
Direct.
It will go out. Cool.
Direct that night, yes.
Thanks.
Would it ever be possible for the Australians to try to participate for real in our contests? Like, would you like to?
Well, you'll see in our piece that, Australians love to participate, and we're just so happy to be here. You'll see in our piece that we perform. There's a little videotape piece that says, well, the Eurovision heads say, well, if you can bring Australia to Eurovision, well then, yeah, you can perform here. And you'll see that we actually lift Australia and make a joke of dropping it into the North Sea and bringing it alongside Denmark so it can happen.
Not obvious, yeah, actually. But
not actual, it's 3D
animation.
It's animation.
But look, Australians would love to be closer to Europe because it would really be easier to get here, cheaper and closer. Yeah. So it's a dream for all of us, believe me.
It'll be cheaper to go to Europe if you're in Europe.
Oh,
yes.
It'd be amazing.
Yeah, good point.
Hi, Mike reporting for ACCast.com. My questions are for Jessica. If you could pick one country that you could sing for at Eurovision, which country would it be and why?
Careful.
And my second question is, what's your favourite Eurovision song and would you sing me a small piece of it?
Okay, first one. I think I'm going to go with the last question. Is Loreen with Euphoria. Euphoria. Na 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 na. Oh, I don't know the words, the rest of the words. And who would...
France.
France, yeah, you need to say France.
La
France.
France, alors tu pourrais chanter pour la France, ce serait super. I'll be your voice coach.
You can help me, yes.
Yes.
You can mentor me.
And we'll do a bit in English and a bit in French. It'd be great. But look, no pressure from me at all.
Did he answer your question?
That's organised. That's it.
Just a follow-up to that, if a country did come to you and ask you to sing for them, would you do that for them?
Oh, that's hard. That's a hard one.
Not naming the country.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, look, I reckon you should go for it. You never know.
You never know.
It'd be great.
I'd give it a go. I'd give it a go. I would. I would
Of course you
participate.
would.
Yeah.
Australians love giving things a go.
Yeah.
Remember, when you ask Jessica a question, Julia also answers the question.
I do.
I do.
I do.
It's a double,
Because
so we
where
have
she
to...
goes, I go.
Yes. Any other questions? Yes.
There, Hassan Yusuf from Vision Magazine in London. Now, we know it's not practical maybe for Australia to enter the contest, but maybe you could have a word with the EBU to allow you to actually vote. You know, because I think, you know, obviously you've got many immigrant background, and maybe you can actually give the UK some votes as well. Just please remember your own colonial masters.
What an excellent suggestion. Because we do have a lot of English, obviously, in Australia. Terrific. Gee, to be controversial, though, wouldn't it, having Australia voting? Look, go right ahead. Start a petition, maybe some kind of weird Facebook page, some hashtag. I don't know how to use Twitter, but look, because I'm not on it. But yes, let's do that and vote. But you know what? I think this year you won't need any help.
No.
Children of the universe. You won't need it. She's very good and she's under 65, so you're in with a chance. I think you know you needed help in the past. Don't be facetious and cheeky.
Now, Julia and Jessica, you had some rehearsals, or you did, Jessica, and there are a few days until your performance. What are you going to do here in Copenhagen?
We've been bike riding, which is really nice. There's
tried.
a lot of cobblestone, so it's quite difficult.
We nearly died.
I tried in heels as well. That was very difficult.
Yeah.
I went.
We've eaten a lot.
Oh yeah, a lot of bread.
Wow, we're having a lot of bread and butter.
Bread and butter.
Yeah, like never before. What else?
That is good.
Yeah, a lot of eating.
A lot of eating.
I went to Tivoli. That is amazing. I went on the roller coaster about 8 or 10 times. I think it was about 8. Yeah,
cool.
About 8 times.
Alistair, of course. Finally, I've been waiting for you.
Alistair.
Hi guys, Alistair Birch from SBS Radio, you may have heard of it. A question about your dress. I'm sure you can't reveal the details of the dress, but you can maybe tell us about the style and the design and the process. How do you prepare for Eurovision?
Yeah, the process took about 5 days. The designer is an Australian designer. We had about 2 weeks to kind of figure out exactly the style of the dress, the way I wanted it to fit, and it took the designer 5 days to make the dress. There's a bit of a train there, so I'll be flicking that around. So that will be a bit of a performance there with the dress. It's quite spectacular, very fitted, but I can strut in it, so I'm looking forward to it.
Let's take, I can see 3 hands. Let's take the last 3. The gentleman down there in the white shirt. And
Hi, Liam Clark from ESCExtra.com. Just a question. Given that, I guess, a lot of this participation of you is entirely gratuitous for us in Australia, will there be a physical release of your song?
Woo! Yes, there will be.
And will it be available for download on iTunes
Yeah,
immediately
straight after the performance. Yeah,
Excellent.
it will be up, yes.
was that someone from your record company? that sounded rehearsed.
He didn't say 118 countries, but that's true.
Can I buy your merchandise anywhere? Was the next question, yeah?
Hi, this is Bernd from EurovisionLive.com. I know you cannot reveal too many things about your interval act, but Australia has some very interesting instruments as well, like the didgeridoo. Can we expect something like this? Something typical Australian in it?
No, not this time around.
Maybe in the piece before.
Maybe in the piece before, yeah.
What we've tried to do is to show some of the sides of Australia that are a little different, and there are many things that we see at the start of Australia that we're kind of making fun of. We're so excited to be there. There's a little dance piece that's been choreographed by Marko Panzic, an Australian choreographer to begin with. And you'll see many elements of Australian life in there. Yeah. We're just having a lot of fun with that. And the idea is, if Australia was part of Europe, what would it try and do? Because we're very enthusiastic people. And there's a lot of jokes in there about that. And I think you'll be satisfied when you
Maybe a new country like Euro-Australia.
Yeah.
Just for the night.
The last question from France over there.
Hello, Farouk Valette from French Eurovision magazine.
Oh, super.
Merci. I would like to know for you what are the big differences between Australian pop music and European pop music?
Oh, that's a good one.
Well, you sing it, Jess. What do you think?
You know, it's quite similar. I think, you know, we've got a lot of influence from, I guess, the pop Euro music. I find it really quite similar, and that's where we kind of get our influence from. Well, that's where I get my inspiration from. I believe, anyway.
I host a rock quiz show in Australia, and so many young musicians, independent artists, travel to Europe, particularly Berlin, to spend 2 years to just not eat, be poor, get creative again and get excited. It's hilarious. So they're all leaving Melbourne and they're all in Berlin at the moment, but I'm going to start encouraging them to come to Denmark, I think, to get some Scandinavian going on.
Please do that. Thank you, guys. Thanks for your questions. Team Australia, thank you so much. We're looking forward to see your performance, Jessica. Thank you. Enjoy yourselves here in Copenhagen. Thanks. And thanks for watching. We'll be right back at 1 p.m. local time with the first country from the second semi-final. That's Malta. Thanks.